Commission regular meeting of Tuesday, August 18, 2026. I'm calling to order. Alice Kelly, Chair.
Mike Canada.
Andrew Holt.
Richard Nordman.
Vincenzo Marafella.
And with us, we have also Andrew Armstrong, our town planner, and Linda Emmy, our clerk.
Okay.
Okay, seating of, any alternates?
No.
No, okay. Well, no, because we were, okay. Add him that he came in at 10 o'clock this morning. Okay, approve, do you have anything to add to the agenda?
Are we moving forward right now, or are we waiting
Yes.
for IT?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, until we get to the,
I do not have anything new to add to the agenda tonight,
So
no.
make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and now, public comments. Anybody that wishes to speak before us can, on anything that is not under. Okay, oh, okay, moving forward,
Okay.
okay, the, Director of Planning and Development report, do you have anything?
Yeah, I have a few things to go over tonight. Thank you. So, first of all, Bruce Driska, our zoning enforcement officer, has retired from full-time work. But he will remain on a part-time basis for approximately 2 days per week, depending on his schedule. And we're very lucky to have that, and we're going to miss Bruce immensely. Bruce is a master of his craft, and I really have enjoyed working with him. I think a lot of times people may not even realize the greatness of Bruce, that he's out there, taking care of signs, working with developers up front, so that you don't see the problems that, that may come along. He's done an incredible job. We're all going to miss the person and the CEO that he is. Bruce's retirement party will be held in the Belden Room, which is next to the library, this Friday, August 21st, from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And there will be cake and coffee. So you're all welcome to join. The public is welcome to join, and wish Bruce a happy retirement. From time to time, he may still be able to come to the meetings, depending on his schedule again and the type of agenda that we have. And Dave just texted me, we are all set, so I hope that we are live now. No? Okay.
Oh,
Oh, good. All right, just kicked in. Hello to everybody online. We're going through the director's report. Bruce is retired, and just one more time, his retirement party is this Friday, August 21st, in the Belden Room from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Next item is we've signed the contract with IMEG, the consultant, to undergo the zoning regulation rewrite. That just happened. We have not had a kickoff meeting yet, so there's more to come, but really excited and looking forward to that. Another update is we met with our GIS consultant. We had them come into the office, and we just kind of went through some questions we had. I had a list of things that I wanted to see fixed. And one new thing that they just recently added to the GIS, because we have such a full list of the different layers on there, there's almost nothing more that we could add data-wise, but they just added the 1934 aerial. So that's available online to the public. If you go to the Cromwell GIS, you can flip through, and you could flip from 2024 all the way back to 1934 and see what your property or any property in town looked like at that time, according to the black and white aerials of Yukon. Next update is late in July, Bruce and myself, along with Deep and the environmental firm GZA, met with the staff at the TPC golf course to discuss a future APA registration application. That is going well. They are working on it, and I expect to see that come through soon. So we will have our first APA registration likely in Cromwell.
Okay, what's the APA?
The aquifer protection area
No, I just wanted.
registration.
Okay,
Good, thank you for prompting me. And last item here is we're expecting an initial Complete Streets draft engagement plan this week. That's from our consultant, again, working on the Complete Streets plan in town, trying to fill the gaps of sidewalks, trails, improve intersections. I've included a few of you on here who've expressed interest, who may be on various boards as a stakeholder. So we want your input. You know, you're very familiar with the town, and when that plan comes out, I'd love to hear your feedback. And you'll hear more from me on this as this goes on.
I see that on Court Street, they're putting the sidewalk. They've done sidewalk where you are crossing a road or down. So they're putting so that people can.
Thank you. So when it comes time for the plan, that may not be something that they have because it's brand new. So it
Right,
may
they're
not be
just-
in their data. And,
Right.
and those are the type of things that we need.
Yeah.
The boots on the ground, the people who live here who can tell us the things that we can't get from data. So
Yeah, no, I happened
Thank
to
you
go
for
by
that-
and I went,
for that.
thank you. Oh, they're putting in the, so that you can
a
walk.
few different types of business happenings in town. We have a new ownership at the Tall Man's Ice Cream, which is at 562 Main Street. That was just a change of ownership, that was all. A list of new businesses in Cromwell. This is for July 2026. It's been so long since we've had a meeting. Flawless Paint Dent Repair at 70 County Line Drive. A to Z Cleaning, that's 34 Shunpike Road, Unit 32.
Where is that? Is that in the plaza?
I believe it
Where
is.
UPS is.
Yes, I believe it is in the plaza. A to Z Cleaning,
Okay.
at least I think it's in the plaza. I might be confusing that with one later, farther down here at 51 Shunpike. Fruitful Nail Supply, 34 Shunpike Road, and King City LLC at 51 Shunpike Road. There's a few grand openings here from July 2026, or at least since the last time we met, which I think you're all aware of. Popeyes at 195 West Street is open. Advanced Auto opened a auto parts store. It's very large. They have an incredible selection. They're at 136 Berlin Road. And Bot and Brew, which is the robot coffee shop, just opened in downtown. That's at 328 Main Street.
Robot makes your coffee.
And that's the list of the director's report for tonight. I don't have anything else to add.
Anybody have any questions or comments or anything? Go ahead, right ahead. Yeah.
So Andrew, could you, when you have a chance, find out when the next meetings are for commissioners to, do we have those clear meetings, or I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah.
I went to the Clear site and I emailed them and they said, well, you should check with you because we don't have anything upcoming.
I saw that.
Because
yeah.
they have a lot of webinars, but I don't think they're certificate webinars. But it
They're
depends.
not specifically certificate, and so I guess the hard part about this training requirement for commissioners is there's this new law that commissioners have to be trained, but there's very limited opportunities actually for you to be trained. I haven't even seen the Wesleyan conference come out. Maybe it has, but I just feel like the opportunities have dwindled. And, we've signed up commissioners and paid for a few commissioners for what we could in person, what we could find in person where commissioners could make it. And I guess I'm kind of extending out a little bit to say, if you watch these videos and you say you've watched these videos, then you're meeting the certain requirements of training, and we're counting that, because there's just not enough valid opportunities for training that offer a certificate. So we do the best we can. That's what other cities and planners have done. And I think it meets the spirit of training. There are certain requirements, things that they want you to study beyond just the 1 hour of fair housing. And I think we incorporate that in some way with all those various videos. So that's our way of meeting the training requirement with the limited opportunities. So,
They haven't had the Wesleyan since COVID.
okay.
That's too bad, because
It
that
is,
was
yeah.
excellent.
I mean, I heard that it moved online, and I kept checking. I haven't seen anything yet. Maybe it's just ended altogether.
Right, it was just too bad, because you would hear the different lawyers and things like that, and I mean, it was really just, and then, you know, you bought the book, but I mean, that book was just a treasure.
Very good.
Yeah.
It was very good.
The best one that I went to this year was the APA Connecticut one that Bruce and I just went to a few months ago, and they went through all the top cases of the year. And I gave a little report at one of our meetings. I came back with that information. We found out about the new legislation that allowed for increased fines for zoning citations. So it was extremely valuable. I feel like they packed all of the important information into one little meeting there, and I tried to bring some of that back here. But I wish they had more of that for commissioners.
Yeah,
So, you know, maybe it's something to think about, that maybe we even put some money together for somebody to come in and train us in person.
If I notice anything unclear, I'll send it out. I think they may probably
Yeah,
start up in
thank
the
you.
fall again, but they don't do anything after May, so.
Yeah, if you see anything, send it to me. I'll forward it to everyone. I check periodically, but I haven't seen
Too,
anything.
I do mostly webinars, past tense, so.
Yeah,
it's like-
thanks for looking into that and
problem.
continuing on with your training too.
right. And I think also the one in Wesleyan was all by the lawyers. I mean, you know, it was just great, so I think it was really the Bar Association.
It was the Bar Association,
Right,
and they
yeah.
gave a nice book that you could take as a reference,
Yep.
you know. So, yeah.
Okay,
And that's it for director's
Where
report.
are we with our replacing Bruce? With our-
The job is still open, job is still open right now. They extended it just a little bit longer, because
Posting is still open?
it is open, yes. Yep.
Okay.
So, as soon as I have an update, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are there any Red Lion updates? I have people asking me about the Red Lion lately.
So they're still planning to demo, but last I heard there was like some further utility coordination that had to happen. They have to shut down a few businesses like in the middle of the night or 3 a.m. They had to coordinate, I think, with the other town, Berlin maybe,
Yeah.
to the west. And I think it was a little bit more than they initially planned for, but it's still moving forward. They just haven't pulled the official demo permit. I did hear that they filed the official tax abatement from '23, just enclosed on the property. But that's all that I have right now. So
Okay.
as soon as they pull a demo permit, I will report it here.
Yeah, they have an excavator sitting there.
Yeah, it's been sitting there for a couple
Yeah,
of
this-
years.
Exactly.
yeah, the developer's agreement for the sewer work is coming, because we agreed that they did not have to come up, they can sign it, but the check has to be in the mail, and then I will sign the developer's agreement. We haven't seen it yet. No check, no signature.
So that's moving forward. I think it's just like a hiccup that
Yeah.
kind of delayed it slightly.
I
Yeah.
just remember them saying demo in August.
Yes.
Yeah.
When they were
Yeah.
last in here.
Yeah. Should be right around there, I think.
Okay.
Or slightly after.
How
So,
long do they think the demo is gonna take? My God.
I'm not sure. They have to do remediation too, and
Right,
yeah, I think some of it's unknown as well about what's really under the parking garage. So that may be a surprise, or something they have to deal with.
okay.
Under the parking garage?
That's what I heard. Yeah, they
There's
were.
no dead bodies.
No, it's all rock.
Okay. Yeah, there was some question.
I didn't
That's
hear
what
it
I
either.
heard from people was, it wasn't dead bodies. It was unknown. And I think it was Rock from SLR was saying, they don't really know what's under there. So that's a question.
It's all
And
rock.
once they find
all
out, then they'll have a better idea.
Yep.
So,
Okay,
okay.
moving forward, Mr. Town Planner?
Sure. We have a release of a performance bond number 1947 Request for the release of a performance bond for 9 Winchester Way in the amount of $8,217 plus interest. Our zoning enforcement officer, Bruce Driscoll, wrote a memo dated July 29th, 2026, and he recommended that it be released. He has verified that all the required site improvements have been completed.
Okay,
Motion?
any discussion? No,
Any-
all set? I'll make a motion to release the performance bond number 1947 in the amount of $8,217 per
Plus.
Bruce Driscoll's and staff's recommendation,
Plus interest.
Yeah, plus,
plus interest.
right.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Flip to the computer now.
Twenty-six, 24.
Application 2624, application for a special permit for the continuation of an existing automotive services and general repair use under new ownership per section 4.3M of the Town of Cromwell zoning regulations at 50 County Line Drive, Industrial Zone, Driving Force Holdings LLC, DBA Brothers Auto Body, applicant, Brothers Properties LLC, owner. We do have a representative who's filling in today for the attorney who represents the applicant here. But I'm just going to give a brief overview because this is going to be likely scheduled for a public hearing at the September 15th regular meeting. But I just want to remind commissioners that there are no proposed changes to the business, to the outside. There is an approved site plan for this property that is on the books. I pulled that file from the town clerk's records and included it as part of the packet. But again, there are no changes. This is a change of ownership. And much like our liquor permits in Cromwell, where like with the hotel, when a new owner comes in, we make the owner get a new special permit in their name. We do the same thing here with the auto body service or the auto services special permit. And so there's really nothing changes. This isn't a new development. It's just a change of ownership. And I would recommend that we schedule this for a public hearing at the September 15th meeting.
So it's just a technicality, really.
Yes.
Part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll make a motion to accept and schedule application 2624 for a public hearing on the September 15th meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, moving on.
Thank you. Thank you. And moving on to application 2625.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Did you wish to say something or no?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
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 Thank you. So application 2625 is application for a text amendment to the Cromwell zoning regulations, section 4.2E, for a moratorium on data centers.
And let me go forward. This was my idea, and I should have put it to all of you, but I became very, very worried. And I had gone to the town council asking maybe that they should propose to us to consider doing a moratorium on the data center, since in our zoning regulations or anything else, we have no verbiage, nothing, just as data centers. And so, but this was on mine, and then I went to Andrew and I said, with all of the news articles and things like that, I said, I'm very concerned that we should be coming aboard, but I wanted him to really check with the town attorney about what is the proper legal procedure to do a moratorium, because you can't just say, we're going to do a moratorium. I think you have to have more verbiage as far as that goes. So that's why I am the one that pushed it. Because, and I'm not, because this is the new thing. It's not against data centers, because that's how this is going to happen. Same thing when electricity came and whatever else, the new cars the horses didn't like. you know, we're moving forward. But we need to have guidelines. We need to be the motivating force. So that's all I have to say.
So it's true, we do not have we have data center as a listed use in the use table, but we do not define a data center. And we also don't have regulations around a data center currently. So I did write something up about the justification, purpose and intent, the different things that we would do to study and evaluate data centers for a period of time, while we restrict the ability to apply for data center development during that time, while we create rules. Because I think it's the chair's position that that we don't have rules and that we need rules. It's a very hot topic right now across the country, and so I can see and understand Alice's reasoning to do this. I think it would go well hand in hand with us rewriting our zoning regulations. So during this time, I think we should develop a definition and regulations for data center use. This would allow the commission sufficient time to evaluate the potential land use, environmental, infrastructure, and public safety impacts associated with such uses. Ensure that any future regulations are consistent with the Town of Cromwell's Plan of Conservation and Development and Natural Resource Protection goals. Prevent the establishment of uses that may be incompatible with existing development patterns, including low-density residential areas, agricultural uses, and environmentally sensitive lands. Protect the public health, safety, and welfare while appropriate regulatory standards are developed. And so with the prohibition, effective upon adoption of the moratorium, the Town of Cromwell Planning and Zoning Commission and any other municipal land use authority shall not accept, process, hear, or approve any application for the establishment, construction, or expansion of a data center. This applies to zoning permits, special permits, or special exceptions, site plan approvals, subdivision or re-subdivision approvals, zoning amendments, or map changes intended to facilitate such uses. The exemptions would be that any application that's received the required zoning approvals prior to the effective date of this moratorium. I don't believe that we have any that I know of. And the recommended duration for the moratorium is for 12 months. 6 months, in my opinion, is really not enough time, and we might cut ourselves short, especially with the work that we have to do for zoning regulations. I want to, in recommending 12 months, I want to make sure that we have sufficient time to really explore the topic and set the rules and not get cut short. So, there's been, I think another town went 2 years. I think that's a little too far. We're not, and as Alice stated earlier, the Town of Cromwell is not against the data center uses, but we don't have regulations currently, and I think it would be appropriate for the commission to consider and evaluate the use and provide regulations for it, like any other use.
Also, I'd be glad to, because I have all kinds, but I thought this is really good, and it's 5 different types of data centers with examples. I mean, I was surprised about how many we had. Have this sent to you. I just thought that it was really interesting because I just had, and I said, wow,
Make sure you get on the mic, Alice, when you get a little
sorry.
closer.
Right,
Thank you.
so this is why I just feel that this is a good thing. I mean, and it's not the pros and cons, because data centers are here to stay, like electricity, but we really need to have some type of, I guess, criteria. I use the term criteria that rather than saying rules and regulations. It's a criteria for us. so that's
Yeah,
all.
and with the moratorium, it gives the town the ability to draft the regulations. If we don't have a moratorium, we could get an application and we would be subject to no rules. So this really protects the town and gives the town the ability to draft its own regulations rather to be on the defensive when an application comes in.
My turn?
Your turn, your turn.
I hear what everybody's saying about our lack of regulation and our lack of definition. I'll tell you straight up, I am not in favor of a moratorium for several reasons. First of all, we've had a possible applicant for data centers that has been working with the town for over 9 months. He has nationally advertised a site that he has secured from gardeners at the north end of town. And that being said, for us to pose a moratorium, a 1-year moratorium, is essentially after 9 months of work and meeting with Andrew and meeting with Stuart and meeting with other people in town, after 9 months of work, you're gonna pull the rug out from under him.
Oh, I had no
But-
idea that anybody was
Yes.
working on a data center to that degree.
So let's keep going. The location that he is marketing is just south of the Enbridge Algonquin pipeline, which is on our northern border in the northern tier. If you want to push him out of Cromwell and you want to push him into Rocky Hill, a 1-year moratorium is exactly the way to do it.
So we-
Because if he wants to develop this data center and he gets buyers that go for his prospectus, he's not gonna wait a year for us to decide what we wanna do. He's gonna go to Rocky Hill, and we're gonna lose him, just like we lost the gas tank years ago,
Okay.
CNG on the Cromwell Rocky Hill border, the Connecticut natural gas tank that's there, that's now owned by Eversource. It's on the Rocky Hill side of the line. It was supposed to be on the Cromwell side of the
I
line.
don't ever remember it coming before us.
No, this was prior to you and
Oh.
prior to me.
My God, that's
But
old.
my point is this, if you wanna push the guy out of town, this is exactly the way to do it. Do we need regulations? Absolutely, I agree with you, Andrew, we do. Do we need to not have a moratorium and to either work with the developer or, excuse me, but work fast and get our regulations together before he applies? Maybe we do.
But that would not protect us, Mr. Kanata. That would not protect we could be working on the regulations and he could say, I'm gonna apply right now, while there are no regulations.
And we can deny his application.
Under what basis?
There's a dozen things in the regulations that I can find. Health, safety, and welfare of the town, health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood.
It's only a site plan. It's not a special permit.
It doesn't have to be a special permit.
I mean, that,
It does not have to be a special permit. We can deny an application based on health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood that the application is occurring in. It's in the first paragraph of our planning and zoning regulations.
well, I think that's a little shaky.
I agree, but would you rather, if you don't like and you can't work with the man, would you rather deny his application and have it be shaky, or would you rather just close the door and push him into Rocky Hill? Because that's what we're doing.
I'm not doing any of that,
Well,
and, you know,
but the
he
moratorium
has every
is-
right to come in and file an application. He could have done it for the last 10 months.
And if he's not ready yet, and he's working with engineers, and he's working with design people, and he's not ready to file an application.
Well, this commission has every right to establish regulations, and he has every right to file an application.
I agree, and I have every right to not want a moratorium.
That's right. That's correct.
That's-
Everybody
yeah,
has the
that's
right
all.
here to their own.
The other thing that I have an issue with, and I'll lay it right out there,
Yeah,
this moratorium was proposed 28 hours ago. We knew nothing about this.
This would be a public hearing, so
I get it.
it's gonna be over 30 days. It's
get
not
it.
in the dark of night.
But
They were
this
going through the
was-
process that
This was
was
thrown on,
confirmed with our attorney.
it was thrown in our lap 28 hours ago. I knew nothing about a moratorium until I got the agenda.
So when I was directed to work on this, I worked fast. And it was last week, and I couldn't get the agenda out in time. So I apologize. It's the shortest time frame I've ever had for sending out an agenda.
That was my-
I was under the pressure to get it done.
But what pressure? Where does the pressure come from to get it done?
Well,
Because you're worried about an application coming in?
no, the pressure
Tell
to
me the
get
pressure.
the pressure to get the agenda out.
Okay,
The-
so tell me the pressure of having to do the moratorium immediately.
I was under the pressure of getting this on the agenda so that we could schedule it for a public hearing. And it just so happened
Right.
that it came on the day that I typically send out the agenda. So then I had to put it off. I gave everybody a heads up,
Yep, you did.
and it's the shortest time frame, but I still meet the law. It was 24 hours. I don't want to do that to you guys. I want to give you as much as possible. But again, this is a public hearing that's going to go over 30 days.
I get it, but in the past, we have gotten our agendas averaging
Well,
a week ahead of time.
You got
And
the agenda, you
I
got
know,
the
I know.
information, you have plenty of time, you have your vote.
I do, and the other thing I'm gonna say about this is that tonight, we are missing how many commission members, some of which have sent emails in. I
Okay.
know Brian Dufresne is in the energy sector, and he has some information on
So
this.
he can come to the public hearing.
Yes.
You know,
and I'm
Brian
sure he
Dufresne
will.
has come to one meeting in 10 months. You know, it's not fair to the other commissioners who show up here.
Okay, it's also
know.
not fair to the other commissioners who are unable to make it tonight because of the short notice.
They can come to the public hearing.
Andrew, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna agree to disagree with you.
That's fine. It
Yep.
it happens.
Yep, that's the way it is.
I'm really curious about how come that this developer has been working with the town, and who in the town is working with a developer?
I believe our economic development coordinator is working with him, and that is his job.
Okay, and
That's
also,
number one.
I've
I
asked,
believe he's also met with Andrew.
Yeah, and it's a
and
preliminary
it's public
discussion.
knowledge, and it's a good
Yeah.
discussion, and I'm glad you're meeting with him.
It was actually
And I appreciate it.
confidential, but, he has every right. He could have filed an application all this time, and this commission has a right to do a moratorium if they
I
decide to.
sincerely hope that
This
this
is not
moratorium
shortcutting him. He's had,
well, what,
does not push him out the door and across the town line to another town. And a one-year moratorium, if he can't be ready in time to get his application in before this moratorium goes into effect, then that's effectively what you're gonna do, is you're gonna push him out of town.
let me ask you this. Say that we don't have a year moratorium, that we put it like just working on,
I'm all for developing a regulation, and I'm all for
Right.
developing,
but putting down.
but I don't think a one-year moratorium is fair. That's my point.
Okay.
I'm all about,
Right,
I
but-
agree
but-
with Andrew, I agree with you, we
No,
need
but what
definitions.
do you think, how long a moratorium, so that we can put in the regulations?
I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you.
3 months?
2 months, 3 months, 6 months, I don't know where this guy is in terms of, whether or not a moratorium is or is not gonna harm him in any length of time. He may be ready to come next month, he may not be ready to come in 6 months, I don't know.
Well, all I'm saying is, because we just wanna be able to have some say in this developer's thing, rather than him just coming in and saying what kind of a data center is he putting in? What's it called?
All I have is what he has nationally advertised. Now, what he's nationally advertised is an 80 to 150 megawatt per year energy savings on the grid, 18 to 20 months, 6 months latency to Boston, 300 plus megawatt microgrid data
Yeah,
center,
okay.
fast
How big?
track.
How big is his data center?
How big is the building?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with every page in his prospectus, but it exists online, and you're certainly
Oh,
welcome to, you're
okay.
certainly welcome to review
Oh, I
it.
didn't know it was online. Yes, go ahead.
My point is very simple. Should we be working with this gentleman to develop a data center that we're happy with and a definition that we're happy with?
He
Or
could have
should we
come in,
push him out
you know,
the door and
I-
send him on a moratorium?
I talked with this developer about coming in with a text amendment. He hasn't done it. He's had all this time to do that.
Does he know that
And I'm
you're
not trying to
proposing-
shortcut him, but
But does he know you're
he's gotta do it
proposing a
himself.
one-year moratorium?
no,
Okay. Did you tell him that?
no, I didn't, because we haven't done it.
Do you think that
But he
maybe
can come in at the public hearing if he wants to,
But
or
do
he
you
could
think
appeal the
maybe it
decision.
might be at least courteous
But I
to
did,
let him?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, no, it's okay.
Sorry.
We're having a lively discussion.
Yeah, we
and
are.
that's okay. And that's okay.
I'm
That's,
sorry.
that's why we're here.
But,
And believe me, Andrew, there's no animosity here.
Yeah.
This is a lively discussion.
But I did
about future policy of the town and how
mention
this is
that
gonna
we'd
go.
had meetings with him to our town attorney when I wanted to know that the justification and process would be correct. So that was included. I don't have it in writing, but
And
it
that's
was
fine.
by word.
That's fine.
Yeah.
My whole point is that I think it would be good business, I think it would be courteous to call this developer that is 9 months in and let him know that we're talking about a possible moratorium. And did he want to work with us on a definition, or did he want to get an application in, or is he okay with X number of months? Ask him. It's free to ask.
Okay.
It doesn't cost us
If
anything.
that's what you guys.
He may say, I can live with 3 months because I need 3 months just to develop what I'm developing.
Or he may
Or he
also
may
say,
say-
I'm gonna apply right now while you have no rules.
And you know what? Then we can deny him if we don't like what he
Well,
proposes.
that's, I don't think we have basis to deny.
I believe we do. You want me to read it to you?
We've lost those.
Yeah.
Well, we've lost on cases with the site.
We've lost and we've won.
Ward Street, lost that court ruling, we've lost several court rulings.
We didn't lose the case on.
If you have a special permit, it's a lot easier to
We
deny
had-
We
We had an
health, safety,
agreement.
and welfare.
We had a court
I'm sorry,
stipulated
yes,
agreement.
Nicholas?
So, just to enter into the fray here, I didn't know anything about anybody proposing anything for a data center other than, I don't know that. It's rather to me, generally speaking, to allow something that we know very little about as far as background is concerned, to know very little about its capabilities and its use of electrical power, its use of water for cooling, its systems and its generators. All those are water cooled. It needs to get a water source. The electrical power on the power grid, we don't know how it's gonna affect that building plus our town. There's so many questions that I've seen, even on the news, they talk about data centers, right? And I've worked in a data center, a data center for the state of Connecticut. And it's a big footprint, and it takes a lot of power, and not personnel-wise, but from a environmental perspective. So we don't know what its impact's gonna be on our town. I'm not talking about wetlands impact, I'm talking about general impact on the town. And here's my concern. I don't know who this gentleman is, I didn't even know he had anything in the pipeline. But if we open the door, in my opinion, and have someone come in and say, here's my text amendment for what I want in a data center. We don't know the type of data center it is, and now we're working on his rules, right? We should be applying a definition to these things and a requirement to these things and looking at our plans to make sure they fit. That's my only point. I don't know if we're gonna lose him or not. That's not necessarily my concern right now. My concern is something happens, he comes in, he puts something in there, and it's gonna cause all sorts of environmental from a usage perspective, not a people perspective. And I don't know this gentleman. I don't know what he's gonna propose, but he certainly did have time to do this if he wanted to.
I don't know him either, Nick, but
I
I
just-
also know that
I don't know that he's gonna apply.
I-
He didn't even apply yet, so how do we know he's gonna apply? We're losing a business we didn't even get an application for.
But don't you think it would be, if the guy's been working on it for 9 months, don't you think it would be courteous to talk to
Do
him?
we do that with every business that comes to town?
It's a fair point.
Well,
You
we
know,
certainly,
because
we
a lot of
certainly
people are
worked with
working on
100
things that
Berlin
don't
Road
come
Well, I
before they
don't
had an
know.
application,
Okay.
right? We worked
But
with them
that
for
wasn't a-
years before
Well,
they
we
had an
didn't
application.
but
work
that-
with
that
the
was a
sign
different
guys who put the
construction.
electric signs up, and I voted against that, and that got ramroded down after a second vote. The first vote, it didn't go through, and he came back and reproposed with a full board, because people don't show up, and now with the full board, it goes through. Okay, the same text. I don't like electronic billboards. I voted against them, and we would have lost in court if that went forward. But we have no regulations, so we built around their regulations, not our regulations. There, now we got it in the middle of a residential area off the highway. There's rented houses around it. Yes,
Yes.
they're rented, but they're houses, and people live in those houses.
Yeah, they
right?
do.
By
And
the
he owns-
highway.
And he owns the houses.
Right, well, then he can get rid of those people. I don't know, I'm not saying he should or would, but I'm not an electronic billboard guy, but that got ramrodded down our throats.
And that's a good point.
And I don't like being told what to do with
And I
regulations.
disagree with you that it was ramrodded
No,
down
it
your
was.
throat, but that's your opinion.
Right, he came
My-
in, he
my
presented
opinion
text.
is-
As
We
you're-
did- We had very, very little modification to it. Everybody said, oh, electronic billboards, they're great. So we,
With spot zoning.
Well,
thank you.
My opinion is if you wanna push this guy into Rocky Hill, this is
I'm
the
not
way to do it.
trying to push him into
and I'll-
anything.
And I'll leave it at that.
But don't you think we
I'm
owe it
done.
to ourselves to at least take a little time to investigate? I don't know if a
I-
year's the
we
right
don't,
amount of time.
yeah.
I do, but do we need a moratorium to investigate?
I don't know if it's a moratorium. I
Yes.
mean, ask the others, other
Well-
members here too. I think we need time to
So,
understand the
Okay.
problem.
I
We don't know
think
what the
you hit
problem
a
is.
great point, though,
Right.
is that the moratorium protects us while we evaluate it so that we can create rules. If we don't create our own rules, they're gonna go by their rules.
Right.
And that's the whole point I'm trying to make here. So if you wanna protect the town of Cromwell and create your own rules before it's too late, then this would be the avenue to do it. And I think a moratorium protects you. We could start to talk about this during the zoning regulation rewrite without any moratorium, and he can come file an application and do his own rules. So that's the point I'm trying to make, and I guess it's up to you guys.
Well,
So it's
how-
12
how many
it's 12
other-
months-
How many other things that you don't like in this book should we put moratoriums on? I just.
It has
I-
nothing to do with
My,
that. They're
my
already-
point is that is not the way.
I
But
understand what you're
this
coming
is
from.
not uncommon,
Right.
Mr. Kanata. This is
Because-
happening in Connecticut and all over the United States right
I
now.
understand that
But
there
we've
is a
done
big movement
moratoriums.
And we're
against
not
data
banning,
centers.
Yeah,
we are
but-
not banning.
But we're not.
them.
We're not.
I know you're not. I
Right.
know-
So
But you
this-
are for a year.
We've had a
Sure,
moratorium before.
but don't
We
we need
have.
to set rules?
We have.
I can't,
Okay.
I mean, let's talk about a moratorium
Going over the
on
last
smoke
18
shops or
years.
vape
Right.
shops.
Well, then you
Right.
can bring that
Where
up.
the police are having a field day
Well,
with these guys
we could
arresting
cer-
them.
we could certainly
Do we
do
need a
that.
moratorium there? We absolutely do.
Well, then
Well,
we should
then
have.
we
But-
should talk about those
That's a
things,
different
but that's,
conversation.
yeah.
But again, it's a different conversation, but it's the same concept.
I don't wanna
Well, are
drive
you
any
gonna bring
business
it up?
out, especially if it's gonna be,
Right.
you
I
know,
think that
to
what-
the advantage of the town of Cromwell, but we at
Okay,
least
I've
have to
gotta
know
move.
about
We
it.
got- Okay.
My
so-
opinion is that this is the way to drive this
We
guy
are
out of
going
town.
to move now.
That's, and
Just-
he only has to go 200 feet north to be in Rocky Hill
He's gonna have
and
a hard
still
sell
tie
there
in.
too.
Okay.
No, no.
Does anybody else
Okay.
have opinions so we can at
Well,
least
I
hear on
wanted to
them?
ask, do you feel that a year moratorium, that a year is too long?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think six months maybe. I don't, we need some kind of a measure.
I would say 6 months, in my opinion, is too short, but
9
if you're
months?
looking, I would say 9 months, it might be.
Would you, are you 9 months for a moratorium rather than a
I'm
whole
fine
year?
with a year,
Yeah,
to be
okay.
honest with you. I think, yeah, right. So I think, in my opinion, that this is the way that these data centers are being built and being able to understand what systems need to be in place to even have a data center in your area needs to have a regulation, and we need to understand exactly what systems are going in there and what impacts that has to the town. And we can't do that by shooting from the hip and having the developer dictate the action to us. We have to independently evaluate what the town can and cannot have. And if the developer comes to us and says, here's what we want to do, and this conforms with all of your regulations and all the criteria that needs to be met, great. But we can't be fast-tracking a thing just because this guy may or may not have an application to submit. We have to do what's best for the best interest of the town and to protect everything that this potentially threatens, which is water supply, which is power. I mean, you can't mess around with this. This isn't building. This isn't residential, this isn't commercial, this is something completely different that we have to really evaluate and understand what the long-term ramifications are of having a structure like this in our town. And so, I don't, like you said, we've had those renderings for months now. Nothing has happened with it, but I think we have to look at it as a responsibility of the town to make sure that we do everything that we need to do in order to, if this thing is going to be built, that it's not going to impact the citizens in a negative way. Because anything you see about a data center being built that is already, that's currently under construction or that's already in operation, there's a lot of problems. And we need to understand those problems. And we need to write regulations in order to minimize those problems. And so I think a 12-month moratorium is more than adequate to address those issues, to make sure that we have done all of our due diligence in looking at a facility like this. Because this is new. This is a completely new animal that we need to understand completely before we can say yay or nay to it.
Yeah, it's a completely new
And
beast.
Richard?
In the mic, sorry. Get on the mic. Yep.
Completely new beast, and to your point, yeah, I mean, who knows what it could be in the way of rate, you know, it could affect the way of environmental, this and that and the other thing. I mean, certainly we want to be open at all costs to drawing new business in, but given the nature of this thing, it's so new, what are we exposing ourselves to? I mean, legally, what are we exposing ourselves to? Environmentally, what are we exposing ourselves to? On a professional basis, what are we, I don't know, there's so many unanswered questions. I think a time to sit back and get some ideas together would be a very good thing. But I don't wanna see a case where the tail is wagging the dog because we just have one guy that wants to do the business. That's wonderful, but, you know, we
Okay,
need
so
to
you
be
think
protective.
12 months, fine?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Based on what Andrew and Nick said, they're on point. You know, you don't know what it's gonna bring to the town, what it's gonna affect. 12 months is probably the way to go. With the notes from the attorney and the work Andrew did looks excellent. You know, the attorney agrees with it. I'd say do it.
It's your call. I am not in favor of a moratorium, period, end of story. I'm not gonna beat the dead horse. All I'm gonna say is, if he does go to Rocky Hill and we lose him, it's on you guys. I'm out of it.
What would preclude someone else from coming in and putting in a data center? Is he the only data center builder in the United States?
There's millions.
They're building data centers everywhere. I understand this one sounds like it's in play, but if it doesn't work out, isn't there somebody else who could come in and do that? I mean,
He's got the
generally
option
speaking?
on the land.
Well, I know options on the land go away.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Right? Was there an option on the land before with the other issue that was going on in that? Remember when they were trying to build something else over in that area?
Oh,
the warehouse.
Square foot warehouse.
Yeah,
So-
right. Were there some
What do we need
discussions
to
on
put in?
land there
Just
too?
We
had
want to have a
options and they
6-month
walked away.
moratorium.
Yeah.
You want 6?
I don't wanna turn
No,
anybody away
oh,
either, Mike,
12
but
months.
I just don't know enough about this. It's kinda a big
think
dark
it's a
hole that we've
text-
gotta figure
it's a
out.
text amendment.
Well,
I don't,
Text them.
I understand.
I agree we
I-
need the regulations. I agree we
I
need the
just don't want somebody
definitions.
dictating them, you know?
I don't think that we need, and we're not voting on a moratorium tonight.
The
We have to
schedule.
vote
That's right.
For a moratorium, that's
Right.
all we're doing tonight.
Yeah, that's all.
Right. So
So you're gonna
I
make a
did check,
motion?
Sure.
like I said, with our town attorney on the process and the memo. She had a couple of recommendations, which I implemented, and I guess the fact is now that our next regular meeting is September 15th. That is not enough time to give referrals to the COGS of 30 days. It's just short. So we have two options. A special meeting on Thursday, September 24th, or we go to the regular meeting, which is Tuesday, October 6th. If we voted to approve the moratorium at the public hearing, it would become effective the day after the newspaper is published, so that we would publish it the next day, and it would become effective then. Does anybody have feelings on either September 24th special meeting or the regular meeting of October 6th? And the special meeting for September 24th is a Thursday, not a Tuesday.
Nicholas?
24th.
I think the 24th.
24th.
I believe the 24th would be a prudent time. And then that also extends another 30 days, is that however?
No.
What would be the time, if we come in on the 24th, let's say, and it does become, we approve it?
I would publish the newspaper the next day, and then it would
Okay.
become effective.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's just for the public hearing? It's not for the moratorium, the special meeting is to vote on the moratorium?
We would, after the public hearing, we would vote on the text amendment for
On
the
the text
moratorium.
amendment, okay.
Then, if it is approved, then we would file the newspaper notice the next day to make it effective.
And what would be the effective date?
It would be the day after the newspaper.
I just want to make, I understand that it's the
Thursday, September
the
25th. Friday, September 25th.
Yes.
Yeah, so I believe it might be effective the next day or the day after the newspaper, I think she said.
So then,
So maybe the
so we're looking,
26th.
Basically, that's a 4-week period, where if someone were to come in to file,
And it's
possibly
the,
could, right?
that's correct. And it's the fastest that we can act. So there will be a window.
For people to state their intent, if we have a prospective applicant, they could state
Yeah,
their
they could
intent,
come to the public hearing and talk with us, so,
talk with us, and that could affect how things go as well.
right.
So that gives us basically 4 weeks to have an opportunity for us to do a little,
Even,
educating ourselves.
yeah, 4 weeks,
Right, to allow the
almost 5.
applicant to put together a game plan and see how it fits for them, and come and present to us, their thoughts on possibly doing.
They could, and they could also, just for everyone's, knowledge, they could just come in and file an application, and beat the moratorium.
But we've had other applicants, right before their applications, come in and present their thoughts on what they'd like to do, right? We did
Right,
it with the
yeah.
change that took place over on Berlin Road with the old Lord Cromwell.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, from time to time,
Court Street
applicants
app-
will come
Court
in
Street Development came
and
in and
speak
showed us the
informally
carrier
with
group.
us and try and get our feeling
Right.
with no strings attached, no.
Right, that certainly gives people an opportunity, 4 weeks, to come into one of our regular meetings and say,
Sure.
schedule a time, and this is what we want to do and how we want to do it, and give us time to
Well,
digest that as well?
We're gonna have to keep all of the speaking to the public hearing, actually, I think. I was thinking we may be able to have them speak under, public comment, but
comments?
no, we're gonna have to save that because it's an agenda item. So we'll say, the time to speak on this would be at the public hearing.
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we've had others come, again, we've had others present ideas to us, they weren't at a public
Well,
hearing
that,
though.
right, no, because that was, they were just going to see how we were going to accept an application.
Yeah. From time to time, applicants will come in and speak with you as preliminarily, informally, and just test their ideas to see if it might be something that they want to go forward with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I would be thinking that they may want to test their ideas with us too while we're going through this process, to give us what you said, temperature check on how we feel and where we think we may go as well, which may cause modifications to our benefit, for example, but, okay. All right, I'm done, I'm sorry.
You wanna make the motion for,
Have at it. I'm out of it.
oh, okay.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Go ahead, Andrew.
I'll make a motion to accept the application for a text amendment to the Cromwell zoning regulations, section 4.2E, for a moratorium on data centers, and have a public hearing on September 24th for a special meeting.
Thank you.
Second.
Second, please?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I am.
Okay. Okay, and then,
Moving
So
on.
September 24th is a Thursday. That's going to be a special meeting?
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And we'll make that at 7 PM.
Mhm.
Okay. All set? So that the application 2625 will be heard at a special meeting, September 24th at 7 PM.
That's correct, yes.
And that is only to enact a special,
It's,
moratorium
Public hearing for the text amendment.
for a moratorium.
Correct.
Got it.
Yep. all set? 7 PM, yep.
Okay, and then we have a public hearing.
So we have a public hearing item tonight, and it is the middle housing text amendment. I'm gonna read that off. Application 2621, application for a text amendment to the Town of Cromwell zoning regulations as it relates to the State of Connecticut Housing Bill, HB 8002, an act concerning housing growth with the following revisions to the zoning regulations outlined in the memo dated June 9, 2026, titled Town of Cromwell Public Act 25-1 Zoning Compliance Update, and with the following correction to the memo. Section 4308, replace all references to ground floor with first floor. Town of Cromwell, applicant. So we should open the public hearing on that.
But also, right, but also, do we have the?
To our room full of people?
Yes.
Okay.
Open the public.
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing for application 2621.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Well, I guess it wasn't so scary after all, and I have to give credit to our consultant to help us craft these regulations, which help protect the town from a developer coming in and doing middle housing developments where we don't have regulations in place. So I have not received any type of questions, correspondence, anything from anyone on this. It's been completely silent. The only thing that we did receive was
Did this have to go to the COG and?
Yeah, we have it
so
here.
the,
Has it?
Yep.
It's all,
Yep.
all done?
yep,
Okay.
so the Lower Connecticut River Valley Council of Governments responded back. They found no negative intermunicipal impact due to the proposed changes. And again, consistency with the RiverCog regional plan. They found consistency there, and it may encourage mixed income developments accessible to lower income residents, which supports sustainable and community goals found within the RPOCD. And we are also required to send to CROG
Right.
up in Hartford because we border that COG as well. And they found, it looks like this was just the submittal document, but they also had no findings, no negative impact. So there was no concern from the COGs. There was no concern from any of the public. I didn't hear anything. So we must have done a great job.
Great.
So, do we need a motion to close the public hearing?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing for application 2621.
Second. Okay, fine. Okay,
Everybody in favor, yeah?
all in favor? Oh, I'm sorry.
I was waiting for you, Alex.
I was looking at something. Okay, so,
Okay, next I'll make a motion to approve application 2621 unless there's any discussion. No? Okay.
so,
Second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
Done.
maybe not.
Great.
Okay,
All right, so that is approved.
and then we have the update of Cromwell ordinance on
Oh,
zoning.
shoot. I don't
That
have
was
that.
from Bruce.
Yeah, so Bruce and I went to that conference. We found out there was the legislation that increased the maximum zoning citation fines. So I had Bruce get right on that process and draft a memo. And it's going through the council process right now. I think it needs 2 or 3 months to work its way and get officially adopted.
I thought they did at the last council
Yeah.
meeting.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, the
it might
last
have been like,
Yeah.
this may have gone to, they told me it was 2 or 3 months and,
Yeah, no,
At the last council meeting, it was presented to the council by, I think.
Okay.
James presented it?
yes,
was it at the previous meeting?
no,
Or, no, okay, because
No, it was
Bruce
just-
wrote this
just-
back
just
in
the
July.
last one this past Wednesday.
this past Wednesday.
Okay,
It was presented, and I believe they had a vote on it, and they approved the new fee schedule that was part of their packet.
okay,
Right.
good. I was told it was like a 2 or 3 month process, or kind of like our
approve it.
process, it gets accepted and then carries on, but,
I mean, I would check with James, but I'm
James.
pretty sure that they did the whole thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
Soup to nuts.
Because
And they
of-
approved it, and it's off and running, and
and Bruce wrote this memo back on July 9th, and I thought maybe it went to council in July, and then, but it must have just missed that meeting.
You know what there might be, is because it's a change in ordinance, which is basically a law.
Yeah.
There might be a 15-day appeal period, and there might be another 15-day, I'm not sure of the periods, but I'm sure there is an appeal period that has to expire before it can become active.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
But it was signed into law by the governor.
Oh, I think are you talking about the ordinance, though?
I'm talking about the ordinance.
Okay.
The governor signed the enabling legislation, but all it is enabling legislation. It's up to the towns whether or
So
not
now
they
that
want
the
to adopt it.
town of Cromwell is updating their ordinance to allow that maximum citation fine
Oh,
to increase.
thought that
So,
once it went
so
in-
we're making it formally now go through the ordinance process here in Cromwell
Right.
to be reflected in our ordinances. So
But I don't
again,
think, can they say no, because it's not only the governor, but it's the House of Representatives and the Senate.
they're not saying no.
Oh, no, I know, but I mean, that's already,
But the House of Representatives created enabling legislation that allows the town to create an ordinance to up the fees.
Yeah, so I'm
They
not
didn't
sure
up
how
the
many
fees
towns
themselves.
actually caught on to this and updated it, but I'm proud that
Oh,
that we
okay.
did. So in the past, previously, the maximum citation fine for zoning was $150 per day. And now it's increased to $250. So what Bruce has proposed is a progressive citation schedule. And let me just zoom in here. So the initial violation is $150. And then when you move on to the second violation, this is in red because it's track changes.
Oh, okay.
Then you can go up to 200. And then again, for a third and subsequent violations, the real problem violators and frequent flyers, we can up that to 250 for the people that we
okay.
really need the teeth to hopefully make them comply. So this is really great. As a former zoning enforcement officer, I love to see that they finally increase this fine, and we can use it, I think, only in certain scenarios. And that was kind of where I directed Bruce, was I didn't want to see us go right to 250, for just a first-time violator or something like that. I don't think it's appropriate, but for someone who really is taking up the town's time and resources and just won't comply, this is an excellent tool.
The way it was set up before was that there wasn't an escalatory scale to it, right? It was just,
I don't believe there
right,
was,
it
yeah.
was just a straight fine, and that was the end of it, so that in order so people's are in violations for an extended period of time, the fines go up to incentivize them to settle it.
Right, and so I hope this even, encourages people to resolve their violations quicker. And maybe the increased fines will do that, so, good incentive and good tool for us to use.
So under Connecticut's general statute, does not require a waiting period of passage before an ordinance is in effect.
Sorry, could you say that one more time?
Yeah, according to my search here, the Connecticut General Statutes 7-148 municipalities, there's a subsection that says the statute does not require a waiting period after passage before an ordinance is in effect. In most cases, an ordinance becomes enforceable as soon as it's probably adopted, published, and recorded.
Okay. I wonder if maybe
Then
it's different
it
at
refers to the
town
town
level.
charter as a reference too, so I don't know if there's anything in our town charter that,
I don't.
Might
off the top
contradict
of my
that
head,
or
I'm not
something.
sure.
yeah,
I
so
have
unless
the
it's in our charter that says, there's a wait period before it's in effect, it sounds like it can go into effect as soon as it's recorded.
soon as
And we're already,
recorded.
we're just modifying the
So-
existing
so
ordinance
the
too, so
question
we're
is,
not coming
did
up
the
with a
town
new one.
council record it yet?
Record it yet.
Right.
I think
That's
that's
the question.
that's the question, right?
Yeah, that would be a James question. Or Amanda might know for sure. Actually, Amanda would be.
Yeah,
that's
she
gonna
probably
record
would.
it.
Okay.
The clerk was not Amanda that night, it was
Cassidy, because Amanda was on vacation. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
it was
right.
Cassidy.
Okay.
So Cassidy would probably know better than anybody.
Okay. I'll follow up there and,
Yeah.
and report back. So that's really great. Proud to report that. And at the end of that packet, under that item, is the Public Act text, if you're interested. Let's see here. So whoop, I don't know what that is, sorry. Internet.
We can do this.
Approval of minutes. We have a regular meeting. It's been a while since we've met. Our regular
The
meeting.
second, but we can't do the
Right.
30th.
Okay, so we will vote on the June 2nd, 2026
Yep.
meeting
Yeah, we
tonight.
have enough, the right people here to do that.
Everybody that was absent is not here tonight.
Right. So,
Yeah, but we have 5. Me, Alice,
right. Does anybody have
Andy.
any changes to the minutes
Andy,
as
and Nick.
presented?
No.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented for June 2nd.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And we can't do anything on the June 30th meeting?
Because we don't have
minute-
enough people.
We
Yeah,
will,
meeting minutes?
Right,
we will carry the special meeting minutes for June 30th on to the next meeting.
Yep.
yeah.
And that's it. Commissioners' comments, anybody got anything to say?
Only that there haven't been any river cogs over the last couple months, so they've been canceled, just so you know.
Yeah. Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay. Thank you very much for coming, and I hope,
Oh, she's fine.
no, I know.
It's, the good thing is, we both ate the same thing for dinner last night, so it's not food poisoning.
Right.